So I think maybe one other area that we have to touch on, which is a pretty significant change to gameplay, is this notion of armor abilities and sort of, I guess what's become a successor to the equipment introduced in Halo 3.
Sure.
Sort of, you guys made a move from this one-time use consumable pickup item to something that's different. And what's that all about?
So I talk a little bit about the philosophy there. So we liked the original equipment, but there was a few issues that we had with it. Mainly being that we never trained it. And then secondly, that it was one-time use, and there wasn't a good association between the icon and what the equipment actually did. So yeah, if you're playing a lot of multiplayer, you pick it up. But in a campaign, you tend to pick these things up, and then you'd experiment with it, and then it's gone or used, or you're running along and you either power drain yourself or you launch yourself into the ceiling with the grab lift.
Or you might even forget you have it, right?
Or you might even forget you have it and go try to reload for your old controls from
deploy some
from
kind of
Halo
turret.
and deploy something. So we went to more of a persistent model where it's this what we're calling armor abilities, where you pick this up and you have it. There is a power meter to sort of control how often you can fire these off. But the advantages that gives us is that you are able to experiment with it, and you're able to work that into your combat cycle. And because you have it all the time, and you're able to choose what you want, right? So you can pick from a variety of them. I don't think we're definitely not talking about all of them yet. Nope. But
yeah, I think we've confirmed the existence of sprint or dash. I'm not sure if we know the final name
there was
of that is.
Halogram as well. I don't know what that is, but
never heard of it. And then active
sounds
camo.
like a cookie.
Yeah.
So active camo is a good example of something that
sure, active camo. So you sort of have to think back. It's like it's like a minor power up depending on the ability that you have to activate all the time, which gives advantages, like I was saying, in campaign. So you work this into your combat cycle. You tend not to save them and hoard them, because that's another problem that you run into in the original campaign or in 3. Where you're like, I'm going to save this until I really need it. Oh, the level's over, right? So you don't ever use it. So this gets you using it, but it doesn't feel like a constrained resource, which is good. And then of course, the more people use it, the more they work that in. It makes for a pretty interesting multiplayer. And we're still working out a bunch of minor tweaks to various different armor abilities to try and not necessarily balance them, but just smooth out the rough edges, as Bungie tends to do. Right? We want that to be really, really
find
clean.
a sweet spot.
Yeah,
how
when we release.
Far, how long can you sprint? How often can you hit it?
Yeah, exactly.
All those little.
Exactly.
And I think you've said that none of them are intended to ever be like overtly offensive in nature.
Correct.
They're not a weapon that you'll deploy or.
That is another conscious decision. Yeah, we're never going to give you
the BFG armor ability. That's just the win button.
Juggernaut.
No.
I've managed to find ways to turn almost all forms of armor abilities into weapons. It's pretty much a confirmed fact.
Hitting them with your ragdoll does not count.
Totally does.
Ragdoll's confirmed. We weren't talking about ragdolls yet, but I guess we just confirmed.
Like we weren't going to do that.
I thought we removed that feature as we moved into our.
I saw the screenshots today. Kids were saying, "Is there no physics in this game? The dead bodies are just laying there."
I heard Havigate cut it. So do you want me to talk some more about armor abilities? Or?
I don't know. Is there anything else you feel like you want to say? I mean, I do think it does present a really interesting opportunity for something like our public beta, where I think we're all excited, and some people might even be admittedly a little bit terrified about what this is going to mean for Halo gameplay.
Yep.
And the fact that you guys have this opportunity to have a couple million people banging on it and trying to exploit it, and I mean that's got to be pretty invaluable.
It'll definitely be interesting to get people's opinions and see how they feel about that. But there's a lot that we're not revealing yet, which is sort of, how you obtain and how often you can rotate these out, and all of the acquisition stuff is still unrevealed. So that'll be fun for people to experience and play with when they get their hands on the beta.
Well, there is one more thing that we should also mention that you guys have also cooked up: Assassinations.
Oh yeah,
A new way to dispatch your opponent in a quiet manner from the backside.
Quiet and flamboyant.
Can we rename that like Luke Smith's Weekends?
wow.
Hi, Mom.
Yes. So Assassination, this is an extension of the classic Halo one-hit kill from behind. And originally, we started to set this up for a campaign because we wanted this sort of satisfying moment when you snuck up on an elite, or a jackal or something. And the animators did such a great job of sort of selling that moment that we decided, wow, we really need to get this into multiplayer. So we've been experimenting with that for a while. And we've gone round and round with a variety of different implementations. And again, this is, sort of the Bungie, like, you put it in, play test it, see what we think, make some changes, play test it some more. To try and get something that appeals to everyone without, breaking the game or shutting it down. So for a while, I had it in there where you could not one-hit kill people from the back. If you wanted to get the free kill, you had to assassinate them. And that was received with, I'll say, mixed impressions.
Why are you looking at me?
Yeah. Luke loved it. I'm excited. He wanted to wait 2 seconds. He was like, please, can I wait some more time before I can kill this person? So now that's changed, and we've gone back to single hit kill melee. Still takes down your opponent, and it's more of a flourish, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That new improved celebratory crouch.
It's like teabagging plus.
Yes. Yes.
I'll kill you with style.
Write it
with an exclamation point.
So, but I think it's going to make for some awesome save films where you're in the middle of assassinating someone and you get sniped and your buddy is saved, or you both get run over by a warthog, or
the sniper dumps both of you.
Right.
Like, there's just going to be some pretty cool opportunities for some pretty cool stuff to happen.
And I know we're not going to say how many of those. I know you guys are still tinkering with a lot, but right now the plan is that they're kind of contextual. So if you're behind the guy, you might trigger one type of assassination. If you're to the left side of them, you might trigger assassination.
Correct.
Didn't you mention that there's even a crazy scenario of being in both you and your opponent are both in midair, and you can also trigger an assassination behind them?
That one's awesome. If you're crossing from 2-man cannons or something,
it's like that Ninja Gaiden moment.
Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah, hey, you got your.
I will get my revenge.
I've seen some weapon specific stuff too, so I don't know if that's going in, but different weapons. Do they have different assassinations as well?
I mean, a lot of this is all memory and content constrained, I guess. So we'll do everything that we can to get as many of those as possible, because we want to have variety so that people aren't looking at the same thing over and over again, but also just so that you get the satisfaction of, if you drop down on some guy from 2 stories up, he gets crumpled underneath you. Right.
Cool.